it was something I read where you talked about your people from Mount Vernon saying that like they've done like 40 years in a penitentiary together. So, and incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. And Roman delves into the issues around the legal system. Do you think we've made any headway in the
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, "Yeah, they're little yummies." I said, "Who?" He said, "Little yummies. Look up, Google Little Yummy." Little Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father? It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
So the things that Denzel Washington is saying here are very true. We have a huge problem in this country when we have 7% of the population, 13% of the population make up blacks in this country, but they commit 75% of the violent crimes in this country.
Do you think that we can truly make change as things are right now?
Well, it starts in the home. If the father's not in the home, the boy will find the father in the streets. Yeah. I saw it in my generation and every generation before me and everyone since. It starts in the home. If the streets raise you, then the judge becomes your mother and prison becomes your home.
But like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, 15 to 25, one did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example. Yeah. And they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up at 13. My parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what they was doing.
We're the fathers. You know what I mean? This country needs to get back to the point where men are stepping up to be men and doing what it is they need to do in their households. Mama shouldn't be just raising these kids by themselves. Grandmas and aunties, all these single women raising these boys. The men need to get off the stupid video games, hanging out in the streets, and they need to step up and be the men that they were called to be, ordained to be by God.